Hey everybody, this is Joel, your photo troll, and I'm always zooming around on the camera doing things, and I just thought I would show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn the camera on, okay, and then I've got a manual focus lens on right now, but if I had an autofocus lens on, I wanted to focus, I would just press the shutter halfway. And also, if you take a picture and you're reviewing it, say, as soon as you press the shutter halfway, you're ready to shoot. So if you're having trouble reviewing things, if it keeps shutting off on you, it means you're touching the shutter button and it goes away, okay? And then something else I wanted to show you is the front dial here. It changes the aperture on an automatic lens. This is a manual lens, so you have to change the aperture with the aperture ring down here, okay? But with an automatic lens, you change the aperture in the front dial, and you change your shutter speed with the back dial. And if it's you're not in the right screen to change things, or if it locks up on you and doesn't want to change, just hit the shutter button real quick and it'll clear it. Okay, so now I'm going up to 640, 800, 1000, 1250, okay? And then there's this info button on the back, and you oh, I'm sorry, I hit the live view button by mistake. Info button. And that tells you what your meter says here. It tells you what your shutter speed is, what your f-stop is, what your ISO is. And if you want to change the ISO, you have to push in this little ISO button. And then you roll your wheel. Okay. I'm going to roll it up to about 500. 640, that'll work. Okay. So there's this is all with my info button, okay? And you'll notice there's all these little icons along the bottom, and those show up when you hit the I button over here. And then once I'm there, I use my four-way to move to the right, and then down. And if I want to change something, I'd hit OK. And then I would change it, go up or down to whatever I want it to be. And then I'd hit OK. And then either hit the I button again or hit back. Yeah, just never mind. So anyway, that's one thing. And then another thing is to review. I hit this little play button here. And there I can review. And then when I hit the OK button, it'll zoom in to the very center, okay? And then I can also hit the little plus or minus signs here, and each time I hit it, it zooms out, see? And then each time I hit the plus sign, it zooms in. But normally when I'm shooting, I'll hit the OK button, I'll zoom in, I'll check my focus, I'll be like, okay, my focus is really good, and then I'll hit OK and zoom back out, and then I'll hit up to bring my histogram up. And then while your histogram is up, you can use your back button, or just back your left hand side of the four-way toggle, and you can use that just to go through your pictures. And then once you get to a certain picture that you want to zoom in on, say, get that one, I'll zoom in on it with the OK button, zoom back out. And then if you want to delete something, you hit that your trash can twice. So if I hit it, it says delete, I'm going to say no, so I'm going to hit my play button. Alright? And I guess that's basically about everything I would just quickly manipulate. A lot of the times when I'm shooting, I'll just quickly go to image area and get that crop mode, and I'll do that for a few shots, and then I'll hit image area and I'll go back to DX and do that for a few shots. I usually leave it at DX, but I just do that, and then I vary my ISO and my shutter speed and my aperture. And one thing I would like to point out is I'll set my ISO to a certain level to where I can get a pretty quick shutter speed, to where if things go into the shade, I can roll down to a 400th or whatever, and I'm still have a fast enough shutter speed, and then roll back up to an 800th real quick. And so if I start out at an 800th and something goes in the shade, I can go down to a 500th, and then they come back out, I can go back to an 800th. And I'm just doing that with my thumb dial here, down and up. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to show you how I manipulate this thing. Hit the play button, move up to get rid of the histogram. When you're going through the left or right on the four-way to go through the pictures. And then also I wanted to show you that you can zoom in, and once you're zoomed in, you can use your thumb wheel to stay zoomed in and go through the pictures. And you can tell I've got a representation of the whole picture down here. And I'm just zoomed in the whole time, so it shows you the little yellow box to where I'm zoomed in. Hard to see on this yellow flower here, but yeah, you can see that yellow box is where I'm zoomed into. And then once you're zoomed in, you can move up, down, left, or right, and then hit OK. You zoom right back out. Hit the up button and it shows you your histogram. Down button, it goes away. And then hit your shutter button halfway really quick, and the review will go away and you're ready to shoot. Alright, that's as much as I'm going to cover in this one. This is Joel, your photo troll. I'll see you down the river.